Hello, hi. Is that Brian?
Yeah. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Brian, you all right, buddy?
Yeah, this is awesome, dude. Big fan.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching the videos.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, dude. I've been just watching the videos and just like thinking about my next haircut, just like dreaming about my like next haircut out of quarantine. It's great.
Yeah, I think you're not the only one, buddy. I think a lot of people are thinking like that right
It's
now.
like it's
I know.
scratching my itch. Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome to our virtual barbershop. Have you seen any of our ones previous?
Oh yeah. So you pretty much like just it's pretty much like what you normally do like in person, right? Just sit down
Yeah,
in the chair and just like yeah.
that's
I
it.
think
Yeah,
that's
that's it.
awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, man. So, yeah, it's we just had to recreate a kind of consultation with me in my
Yeah.
in my space. So, um, basically, I'll talk you through it from the start anyway, just because it's easier for you to remember. But
Yeah.
what we try and do is I try and imagine that we're sitting down together, Hunter Collective, you're in for a haircut, and either you can ask me advice or you can ask me what you think I should get. But what I always do at my consultations, I always start off by finding out a little bit about yourself, like lifestyle, what you do for a living, etc. Then I could move towards how you would spend time on your grooming routine if you have one or if you don't. And then obviously we move straight to ideal world, what would you like done? So yeah, start off, Brian, by telling me a little bit about you.
Yeah. So I'm pretty active. I like going out and I like doing things. So I'm actually interviewing today for a
Oh,
medical
wow.
assisting job. So I'll be on my feet
Nice.
and going out and about often if I get this job.
Okay.
So fingers
Yeah, yeah.
crossed.
Fingers crossed, man.
Um,
Touch wood.
yeah. So I'm always looking for like a nice haircut that's pretty low maintenance. Like I do dedicate the time to my grooming routine. I have a whole skincare routine, and
Nice.
but you know like pre-quarantine, like I had I guess a tight fade with just like stuff on top, and I just just brush it around.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of looking for something. I wouldn't say something different, but just something else, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, of
something
course.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
Um,
something, yeah, I could do in the day and then just kind of hold on throughout the day. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. I think what you, so if I interpret that in the way if you were in the chair, I would say, I don't know if you've seen our latest video where we've done the sort of short crop kind of style. Have
Oh
you
yeah,
seen our
yeah,
latest?
the one on the side. Yeah, yeah,
I think you, because your hair and my hair are very similar. You know, I've got
yeah.
very
No,
sort
it's
of
so
like
spiky.
straight,
It's so,
super straight hair, sticks out the sides. Yeah, I've got exactly the same as you. Um, and this is the haircut that I always go back to because it's something that is you can make. Do you know? Believe it or not, I know it is short in a sense, but it's something that you can change it. You can change the look of it with a different product. So if you wanted something that was going to last you all day, and you want something where you could kind of make it look a bit different if you're going out at night after you've had a busy schedule, um, this haircut you can do a few things with because you've still got fringe, so you can still put the fringe up a little bit if you wanted
yeah.
to, bring it over. You could wear it kind of more down and a little bit maybe using a clay, more drier texture, a bit flatter. If you want to, again, pop it over to one side, pop a little bit of paste or a pomade in there to kind of give a bit more of a different look. But the key thing with it is it's such low maintenance. It's just a fantastic haircut. It's just something that I've always ended up going back to or recommending to people in your situation because it's just minimal effort. Even the shampooing is like, it's done like that, and it dries quickly. It's that kind of thing that you've got to be realistic about whether a haircut's going to suit your lifestyle. There's no point in
Yeah,
having
yeah.
a slick pompadour if you're going to be, getting out, if you're leaving it at work at 6:30 in the morning. And so talking about that for your face shape, so you've got I'd say more of a square face shape,
Yeah, yeah.
right, from what I can see now. It's yeah, square, yeah. But you've got solid jawline. That's good because that helps when you are trying to create something. You can see it already. Um,
Yeah.
so again, what I would always say is don't go too high with the fade. So if you want to go down to, skin, because the thing is with this crop, the back and sides don't matter what you go to. All that matters is the height you start your blend from. So if you were having skin, foil shaver fade, as long as it doesn't go any higher than about, say, temple, and you build up the weight through the corner, you can have any length on top. So you could have it finger length.
Okay,
You know
that
what I
makes
mean?
sense. Because sometimes I take the fade a bit too high, like I ask my barber,
Yeah.
and it's like up here, and then it kind of looks a bit funky. Yeah.
That's the problem because I know it's a lot of people do that for the growing out phase because it grows out slower in some ways because you're going obviously a bit higher, especially on our hair where it's really straight and
Yeah.
thick. But the only downside is you're almost doing a haircut for something that will happen in 3 weeks. So you're not doing a haircut that is done for now. You know what I mean? That's the thought process, I think. So if you switch that thought process up and go, okay, I want it to look good now, and then I'll deal with it in 3 weeks, which you never know, it might look all right. I'd always say do that. And then honestly, on top, have whatever you want. And the good thing as well about kind of your hair texture is that you could heavily texturize it because it's so thick and straight. So you can get away with kind of working with different texturizing techniques, like where we point cutting at the roots to remove the thickness and to kind of break it up a lot. That works wonders on your hair because it when you put product in it, it changes it completely. It doesn't just stay kind of big and thick. It really starts to condense a bit more and move about a little bit more. Like you're breaking it down at the roots. So I would say if you're looking for something that, let's just say, fingers crossed you get the job, you've got a busy lifestyle, I would say stay clear of anything that's going to be too high maintenance, like what you have now. Because when if you're running around, well, that's it. If you're hot as well, don't forget, if you start sweating. You're wet fringe. Yeah, exactly. So I would say if you watch our latest video, I'm only saying that because it's the best way to describe it to you. That would be something I would recommend for you. Again, if we're going into the summer season as well, and you do get a job now or whatever, I think something along the lines of a crop slash. I think sometimes people just say like sort of scissor cut to finger length. You know, that's kind of what you need to say really. That would work really, really well for you. But again, like I said, try and keep the blend not too like keep it at like a midway blend. Even if you're going down to a 1, just don't take the 1 too high. Okay.
So I also have this issue with the back of my hair, at least like here, like when it gets cut too short, it always sticks up like crazy. So do you have any recommendations for that? I'm not sure if your hair does that too, but it's like mine does. Yeah, anyone with similar hair to ours, like if anyone's got that real thick, straight, kind of, it doesn't even matter the color of the hair really, just thick and straight. It does. We've got very pronounced growth pattern, and it just wants to kind of stick out at any angle, and it's a pain. It really is. It's porcupine hair. That's what I call it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, it's to be honest, it's one of those things where you want to, when you're asking for the cut done. I know it's a very difficult thing to say to a barber and almost tell the barber how to do your hair, because I know. I mean, I'll just take it because I'm just thinking, what's the point? You know, if that's why they want it, I'll do it as long as I can suggest a reason behind it. Like if they say to me, I want it really low at the back, and I know, and I try and divulge a bit more into why they want it, and they go, oh, because my crown sticks up. I'm like, okay, well that's fine, but I don't have to go that low, you know. So I know it's awkward doing that, but if you can just ask for it to be dropped down at the back, and just keep, and just kind of, it's hard because I know where you come from. It's hard to try and put it for you to explain to your barber without trying to maybe think you're offending him, you know what I mean? I know I've got friends who get well offended by that. So I would say just ask for them to drop the fade low towards the back, okay? And that way they are going to build up. So no matter what they do, I wouldn't imagine them going too short. And you can always just say, just don't take the crown too short, because that essentially is what it is. I mean, the way I do it on the videos, I always leave the crown to last because I know that is the problem area for a lot of people, and I only know that because when I started off, I used to have a lot of children coming into our shop when I first started it. We get to like 3:30 in the afternoon, and it'd just be influx of children and an influx of eagle-eyed mums and dads who stand watching you go, don't take that crown too short. Don't take that crown too short. And, you know, when you're 15 and you're really nervous, it's just something that stuck to me forever. It's just like, keep the crown a bit longer and then cut it naturally as it dries. So I always tend to leave the crown to last just because I can see exactly how it's going to fall. Because that's just the way I've been taught. But again, if you don't know your barber that well, or if you do, and even if you do, just ask them to keep it low at the back. That would be the best suggestion for you, just because that way you know that even if he goes a little bit high, you can go, actually, don't go too much shorter there. You know, you can kind of work with them through the haircut. And that's why I always say it's really important to build relationships with your barber or hairdresser, because, you know, it's these things where you want to be a bit more you want to be a bit more perfect about what you want. It's hard to have when you don't know your barber too well, because it can come across like you're telling them what to do. So I always try and say, if you can build a good relationship with them, if you know you're both that kind of people, both extroverts, and you can kind of work together, then you can discuss it more thorough. So
I miss my barber. Steve, if you're watching, I miss you. Like, stay safe.
I'm sure Steve misses you as well. I miss all my clients right now. So yeah, well, if Steve is watching, then Steve knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure. I'm sure. So yeah,
All right,
just ask
so
him to
it
keep
would
it low
be
at the back.
mid blend fade and then low in the back fade.
Yeah.
Whatever the video says for the top.
Yeah, it's basically just like an inch long on top. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Is
been
that
growing
right?
my hair out just to keep I've been trying to grow it, so whatever, advice you have, I could just do it, I could just
Yeah,
ask for it
definitely.
whenever it
Well, I
happens.
think the thing is, it's based on what you said, I would say go shorter. But again, if you're keeping it longer, and you are wanting to kind of grow it out a bit, maybe if you get maybe a month down the line, you go, actually, I really like this now. Because I think the US barbers are opening up on like the 15th of June or something. I think maybe it's around
Oh,
June time. I think
yeah.
some barbers can, yeah. From what I've been seeing on Instagram, and I know, if you get to that point, and you think, okay, I actually like the length. Just switch product, okay? So go for a bit more of a heavier hold.
Gotcha. So so you mentioned clay. I was also curious about your salt spray. So what does that do exactly?
So what a salt spray does is it does a few things, okay? So the main reason why I use it is to add like a base to the hairstyle. So when you spray it in, as you start to dry it, it starts to kind of thicken up and dry out the hair a little bit. Not dry it out to a point where it's going to damage the hair, it just adds a coating around the hair that feels drier. So what it does, it adds a bit more grip for when your product goes in. So it just adds that little bit of extra hold. So say you've got a product of a 7, you got say 7 out of 10, meaning 10 being a super, super strong look hold, and you've got say a product which is a 7 hold, right? What this will do, it'll make it a 9. That's basically the way you look at it. It'll just add a little couple of extra bits to the hold that'll help you style it. But on the other side, it helps I use it when I'm doing photo shoots. So if I get any clients in when we're doing a shoot where they haven't washed their hair, you spray it onto the hair and it breaks down product as well. So if if you get up late in the morning and you've got product in your hair, you don't have time to wash your hair, spray that on, towel dry it, and then dry it again. It'll break the product down as well. So that's a good little tip.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
I try not to encourage people not to wash their hair, but if you are going to do it, then just do it for that. And then you can use it to dry naturally as well. So if your hair is longer, so you've got longer hair, you want that kind of second day feel. So, sometimes, I don't know about yourself, but I find that when I haven't washed my hair for a day, it's the next day, it's always good. If I wake up and I haven't got too much bed head, it's just got a little bit of oil in there.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's perfect, yeah. That's what it can also do as well. If you let it dry naturally, so if you spray it in the morning, say you're not leaving the house for an hour, spray it in your hair, it'll give that second day feel to the hair. So it'll style it easier. So again, activate it with a bit of heat to add more hold, let it dry naturally to give that kind of second day feel, or obviously, spray it to break down product. But again, it adds that little bit of extra oomph to the hair. That's all it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But they are a good one to get, though. They are becoming very popular now, so it's definitely a good shout to get one.
All right. Yeah.
Awesome,
Thanks
man.
so much, Dan. Yeah, this
You're
is
welcome,
great.
mate. Anything else you want to know, Brian? Anything else you want to ask?
I don't know, man. I just really appreciate you doing this. This is awesome. But yeah, I think I've covered all my bases here.
Awesome, man. Brilliant. Well, Brian, thank you so much for spending the time and talking to me today and watching our videos. It means a lot. It really does.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Brilliant, Brian. Thank you very much, man. Take care.
All right, thanks.
See you, buddy.
Later.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Cheers. Hey, Felix.
Right, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
All good, son. All good. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just stuck in the house with 3 kids, mate. Not much going on, man.
No, there really isn't, is there? There's not much.
No. Are you based in London or?
Based just south of London in Surrey.
Oh, in Surrey. Nice, man. How's it all been in lovely Surrey? I used to live there, man. How's it been?
It's all right. It's everyone's just getting bored of it, but got to stay inside. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Totally. Yeah. I've got to say, man, I'm loving your hair. Oh, really? Thank you very much. It's been without a cut now. It's been
wow.
Yeah, I got it cut on the day we got locked down. I was like, I need to get a cut before this.
Yeah, nice, man. Nice. I love the mods, man. I love the mods here. Do you know what's one thing? I'm actually, me and Liam were talking about this actually. We're looking to do this cut on one of the models, on one of the mannequins. Because that one of my haircuts, my favorite haircut to do is mod haircuts, but I get no mod clients. So I get no one, and I'm gutted. I'm like, let's just do a mod, and it's me and Liam actually. There's a story about this. Me and Liam went for a drink after doing some filming to just try and talk about some future content, and a guy was outside the pub, and I think he was a little bit hammered. And I said to Liam, I said he'd be a wicked model for a video. And I went over to him and I went, excuse me, mate. You know, I said, I love your hairstyle. Like, would you mind doing some film with us? And he just basically went, no.
No.
And I was like, it'll be a free haircut, you know. He went, nah. I was like, okay, nice one, man. There's my mod gone.
Just give me a shout, man.
I think we could, mate. Yeah, I think we could, man. Yeah, for sure. I think we'll get in touch for sure.
Where'd you cut?
I'm in Farringdon. And just literally on the Farringdon Road.
Oh, mate. Yeah, well, I'll be down if you ever wanted to.
Mate, straight into Waterloo, Northern Line up. You'll be all right, mate. You'll be fine. Yeah. Sweet, man. Well, can I just say thank you very much for doing the virtual barbershop with us. It's always nice to interact with another.
It's nice.
Have you seen any of our virtual barbershops before? Or is this the first time?
I saw one yesterday, actually. So I got in contact. Okay. I watched one. They were pretty cool. So I was like,
okay, cool. So I'll just run you through a sort of summary of what I normally do. So I'm doing these kind of virtual barbershops just as a way of doing a virtual consultation, really. That's kind of what we're doing. And I try and do these virtual consultations as I would if you were in the chair. So all the questions that we ask and all the conversations we have are done as I would do in the chair, okay? So I usually do it sort of 3 stages. First stage is just to get to know you a bit, you know, a little bit like your lifestyle, your job, etc. Second thing is about your groom routine. Do you spend time on yourself, on your hair, etc.? And then obviously the last bit is what would you like to have done, or what advice would you like? So let's start off from the start. Just tell me about yourself, man. I know you live in Surrey. So anything else?
So, I'm going to university in the summer, September, hopefully. Doing a guitar live performance in
nice.
So
nice, man.
Yeah, so trying to make it in any way within music I can.
Yeah. Okay. At
the moment. So
you're a musician, yeah?
Yeah, musician.
Yeah. Cool. So that's wicked.
Yeah, kind of keeping busy with that at the moment.
Yeah. Do you normally do like any sorts of like open like kind of gigs and stuff like that in the pubs and that?
I'm in a band and we play a lot. Well, we used to play a lot in pubs and clubs and stuff like that. Yeah,
cool.
Saying yes to every gig, but obviously now can't at the moment. But when this finishes, we'll get straight back into it and just play live as much as possible.
Nice. Okay, so just taking things from what you said that I'm going to take into my head is that obviously you're a musician, you're in a band. Yeah. I know you're going to start doing the course, but obviously day-to-day life will be gigging, hopefully, you know, as it would have done before. So let's just think pre-lockdown, yeah? So you're gigging all the time. Okay, cool. And do you spend time on your hair and stuff like that?
I spend a decent amount of time. I think it's quite important to me.
Yeah.
I get the straighteners out every now and then. And
yeah. Get the sideburns down. Yeah.
A lot of wax. And, I've got some salt spray I've been recommended. So I'm using that at the moment and quite enjoying that. So yeah, I spend a bit of time on it.
That's good. Wait, just if you don't mind me asking, where do you get your hair cut now?
Well, I used to get it cut Gents in London.
Okay, yeah.
Get a cut there by Bradley, but then I think he left, so I was like, I'll just get it cut locally. So I now get it cut by some guy called Grant, just in Hawley, so it's pretty decent. Okay,
sounds. You know, I was just gonna say, it looks like a really good haircut, mate. Especially if it's grown out that well. He's done a cracking job, mate. Hats off to Grant. Yeah, man, it looks good. It looks good. So, what would you like to do today? Do you need any advice on a look, or what would you like to get out of this today?
I kind of I was thinking about going like a little shorter, not on the kind of I don't know. I'm thinking about going a little bit, especially with lockdown. It's kind of getting really long, and I'm just like, I want to get a bit shorter now. Yeah. So
again, what you want is something a bit. Sorry to jump in. I was going to try and help you with that. Is that you want to kind of have the same kind of look, but a shorter version? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Especially for the summer as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. There's So I did a haircut a few years back. I used to work with American Crew, and I used to do education with them. And there was a collection we did that was basically around mods.
Yeah.
And if I was going to say, it's with your haircut, it's a very hard one to give advice to you, okay? Because it's a very technical haircut that you would have to go to somebody. It'd be very hard for you to do yourself, you know? You could probably do your fringe yourself and things like that, you know?
The past few years, kind of been experimenting with that.
I can imagine all that. And to be honest, if you went a bit short on the neck, it wouldn't matter too much as well, because you've got that kind of more front forward here. But I think the best thing for me, I know this isn't probably very good viewing, unfortunately, but I think the best thing for me would, for me to send you an image of what I'm talking about. because for me, it's a brilliant image, and I think you could pull it off because you've got the look already. It's just basically the way it's done. It's actually it's clippered up here, clipper over comb up here, and then brought in through the fingers this way. So essentially, what you're doing is short here and keeping that length through the corners. Through the ends here. It sounds scary, but it looks incredible when it's done. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you've got a bit more of a kind of Paul Weller-ish fringe as well. So where the fringe is higher, a bit more in the middle and comes round, that works quite well. And I think for your face shape you've got going on now, it's giving you a really lean jawline because it's working around the face here, and then you're getting cut in. So with you having it around through the fringe and then coming into the sides, it's starting to really angle the jaw. So what you've got is a wicked haircut for your face shape. Which is very hard to say with a mod because not everyone pulls a mod off, you know. So you definitely are pulling that off for sure. But I think shorter though, I think you could definitely get away with going shorter. It's just all about the areas you go shorter in. So crown, you can take that really short because you can have that little bit more height.
Choppy up there, you know what I mean?
Like, 100%. But you can get away with going shorter through there as well because your hair looks quite soft. It looks quite like it will fall quite flat. So I think you can get away with going short at the crown. Even if you do get a bit of elevation here, it's not a bad thing because you still get that kind of movement, you know. And then you could just leave a lot of weight through this part, and then get your fringe cut nice and short. But again, get it cut so it kind of sits around your face like that. I think that works well.
I always look at Paul McCartney for that, and he has it quite. It goes around very well. And
100%. I'm trying to think of someone else who I've got someone in mind, but I can't think of his name who's got what I'm talking about. But I'll have to think about it because I can't remember right now off the top of my head. But I think you get away with that kind of shorter here. And again, even if you look, if you looked at someone like, and maybe not as short as Liam Gallagher, but when you see some of his older images where he's got the mod, basically Liam Gallagher's got a cow's lick here, right in the middle here. And that's why he has the fringe cut short. So I'm guessing whoever's doing it for him is a mod works for him because you cut the fringe off, leave a heavy over, and it makes a straight fringe. So I reckon that's why he's having that done, just from a professional point of view. But I think that would work well for you if you cut it a lot shorter through the front and still had some sides coming through here. Take the neck a bit shorter as well, so you can't necessarily see it too much straight on.
The first time I went to Gents of London, they did that because it used to come out a lot, and they were like, stop that back, and I much preferred that. So
definitely.
Nice.
But I would say another recommendation as well: get it cut with the razor.
Okay.
Because that just honestly, mate, there's no other technique that you can do that can mimic a razor cut, because there's no harshness to it whatsoever. So everything the way it's cut, because basically what it is, because it's one blade, you're not getting two chunks of metal cutting together. So no matter what you do with scissors, there will always be a sharp point or an edge to it. Where when you're using a blade, just a texture razor, you're just working it down. So you're basically just serrating the ends of the hair. So there's no two pieces of metal cutting together creating any bluntness. It's all serrated. It's all very natural looking. But the texture you can create with that, especially in the fringe, is just phenomenal. So I would definitely suggest one thing. If your barber who you see now, if he does use a texture razor, just say, look, go to town on it, because it will work really well for your hair, massively well for your hair. So
definitely speak to him about that.
Especially around the edges as well, because you're not having to point into it to make it like blocky. You're just working it freehand with the razor, and it just gives a lovely finish. So I would suggest that to you, really.
I'll definitely suggest that to him.
Definitely, mate. But when lockdown's over, man, we'll get you in for a cut. I think you'll be a wicked. If you're up for that, you'd make a good video.
I mean, the train here goes straight Farringdon. So,
does it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Is that Thames Link?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, perfect. Come on in, get a nice free haircut and get a little bit of exposure, man. Yeah, and we'll tag your band in it as well.
Perfect, man. That'll be perfect.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Well, if that's all you need, mate, then that's cool. But what I'll do is, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll follow you back, and I'll send you over an image that I'll find it for you. It might take me a few hours, but I'll find the image for you, just for something to do.
I don't know if you've heard of Miles Kane.
Miles Kane. Yeah.
That's the kind of trim I'm looking for.
From when though? Because he shaved his head quite a few times, hasn't he?
Yeah, not from when he shaved his head.
No, I was going to say. Okay, I'll have a look at Miles Kane. If you send me the one you're looking at of Miles Kane, I will try and send you the American Crew one, so that you maybe choose from both. You might go, okay, well, I like the sides of the Crew one, but I like the fringe of the Miles Kane one. So you can always adapt the mod, to whatever suits your preference. So I think that might be the best thing to do, mate, because that'll be the easiest way of me communicating about this for you. All right.
No, that's perfect, mate.
Awesome, Felix, mate. Well, nice to meet you, man. And yeah, hopefully we'll be in touch after lockdown.
For sure. I'll see you soon.
Take care of yourself, man. All the best.
You too. See you later.
Bud. So, I believe you're in Australia. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Wow, man. What time is it there?
12:08 a.m.
Wow. Jeez. Well, thank you very much for staying up, man. That's very, very kind.
I appreciate it.
Welcome to the Virtual Barbershop. We've done a few of these now. I don't know if you've seen any. But yeah, we're just trying to do a sort of virtual consultation, really, you know, with everything that's going on at the moment. It's quite nice to sort of talk face to face with someone, you know, about a haircut more than the mannequins that I've been working with at the moment. So what it is we try and replicate a consultation with me in my chair, but obviously through a Zoom call. So I'll go through my consultation process with you, really, and find out exactly what it is you're looking for. So what I'll normally do is start off by finding a little bit more about yourself, like your lifestyle, age, job, etc., etc. Then we'll move on to your sort of grooming routine. You know, do you spend time on yourself? You know, do you allocate time? You know, do you have a busy schedule where you can't really put time into it? And then obviously the final bit is, ideally, what would the haircut you be, or what advice do you want? So we'll start straight off, buddy. So tell me a little bit about yourself then, Damon.
I'm a student, 16
Okay.
still. It's quite young. Not much. I really play a bit of sport, like go to the gym here and there.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what else I can really say.
That's cool, man. No, honestly, that's enough though. You don't need to say a lot. You don't need to say a lot. So okay. And tell me, do you have a solid grooming routine? Do you spend time on yourself, or are you just quite a sort of happy-go-lucky kind of whatever?
Don't really have much of a grooming routine. Just kind of make sure the hair's somewhat tidy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what?
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, do you need advice today? Would you like to ask me any questions, or do you want me to look at what you've got now and tell you where to go or what direction you're going?
Yeah, more like what direction to go into, where to go with.
Okay. So can I just see what your hair's like? Can you take your headphones off so I can see what your hair is actually like? Okay. So have you got a bit of an undercut going on at the moment? That's all right, man. That's all right.
Yeah.
So is it undercut on the sides? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what are you looking to do with it? Have you got an end goal that you're looking for, or do you want me to just sort of purely aim something towards what, if you sat in my chair, I would just do whatever kind of thing?
Yeah, just what you would think would work best.
Okay. Well, I think if you look at your face shape, yeah, you can put your headphones back on now. It's all good. I've seen what we need. Put them back on. So for you, you've got quite a round face shape. Okay. So it's very round through the cheeks. Okay. Now, I would say when you go really, really short and really high on the sides, it brings the face out wider. Okay. Now, this isn't anything negative. It's just that we always try and aim for something that is very lean. Okay. So it gives shape to the face, probably more so the jawline. Okay. Because not everybody is blessed with an amazingly chiseled model jawline. So, and I'm one of them. I'm not blessed with that at all. We always try and do something that works best for that. So with your hair, you've got good hair, very, very, very good hair, very thick, dark, not a single grey. Obviously, you know, you're 16, unlike me, and you've got that natural wave in it as well. So you can get away with quite a lot of hairstyles with your hair. You can blow dry it to get it nice and big if you wanted to. You could heavily texturize it. You could use different types of techniques, like with the razor, or a lot of kind of slide cut and point cuts and different techniques for that. Thin it out a lot as well. But I think in terms of the look that I would suggest for you, I think one thing I would stay clear from, purely based on face shape, is the undercut. Now, I don't know if that's because of isolation or lockdown or whatever, but I would probably stay clear of that a little bit. Only because what happens, it becomes a big step. And because your hair is so thick, it will almost mushroom, you know? Unless you go really, really super high, you know what I mean, yeah? So I would just go for more of a connection through the top. And then again, if you're going short on the back and sides, keep it low. Because again, you want to bring in the squareness through the corners to sort of kind of sharpen the jawline, to create more of a kind of angular face shape, okay? When you're working with round face shapes like yours, you want to be working with a bit more length, sort of from, say, the temple higher. Now, again, these aren't rules you always have to follow. Again, you can be as creative as you want, but when we're talking about sort of the basics, this is what I always got taught. So if you're going to go for anything really short, keep it like no higher than sort of just below the temple, okay? If you're going for anything like a skin fade or anything like that at all, and then just start to build up weight through the corners here. And then with the top, I think, honestly, with your hair being the way it is, I would go for like a longer look on you on the top, whether that's kind of just something, again, like bearing in mind with your age, and obviously like you play a lot of sports and you are a student kind of thing, you know, you want something that's really low maintenance, I'd imagine, something that isn't going to be too much of a pain to do. And I think once you get that connection through the haircut, even keeping longer on the top, if you get it thinned out a lot and you get it heavily texturized, you can wear it any way you kind of want if you switch the product up. So if you wanted something like what you've got now, say in an ideal world, you're in the chair, I take that undercut out, connect through the sides here, keep the length on top, get a bit of pomade, water-based, oil-based, whatever you prefer, whack it in and slick it back, or have it kind of parted, right? Yeah. You could go on the flip side of that. You could take it quite short through the crown and have a lot more length through the fringe. You've got quite a bit of a disconnection through the front, which I think will work really, really well for you. But I think the key thing is working with what you've got, like kind of hair texture. So try and stay away from drying it too much with hair dryers. Let it kind of dry naturally. Apply, like, say, a clay when it's damp, and then just kind of let it air dry and scrunch it in. And that way, just with the natural flow of wave in your hair, I mean, I would kill for that because my hair is so straight. I would love a little bit of wave in mine to be able to make it move around and do kind of what I wanted it to do. So yeah, I think if I was you, I would definitely keep more length in it. You've got a really good head of hair, and I think it'd be a shame to kind of whip it to a crop or something. You know, it would be a real shame.
I used to have a lot more length. Like I had more of a man bun style kind of thing going on.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Maybe like a year ago, I started doing a bit shorter. So that's what I've got to here now.
Is that where you're at now? Is that kind of from the man bun kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Since then, I've been keeping it shorter.
Yeah, definitely. Because the thing is, again, with you've got a solid hairline. Again, you know, your age plays a good part in this, because I don't know many guys who are 16 who've got a recession point. So it's one of those things where you could take the advice that I'm giving you, which is a kind of working something for your face shape. But if we erase what I've just said and maybe start from a different angle, you could be really creative with your hair, because again, you've got the thickness, you've got youth on your side as well, so you can get away with kind of more drastic haircuts. So I think if you want to go short, so again, I'm going against what I said just because that was the kind of the sensible thing to do if you talk about face shape and things. If we go against all that, if you went for something that was, say, a short crop, or you fancied doing something that was maybe, if you experimented with going maybe a high fade, for example, you could get away with it because, again, hairline, and, the thickness of your hair as well. So I think you're in quite a good position, really, because you can go for quite a lot of hairstyles. The only key thing I would say to you is just try and keep anything blended low. So you would suit any hairstyle pretty much, just as long as you're working with the corner. So you build and weight up here. Okay, so we can bring back in what we said at the start, and you could get it all nice and perfectly connected through here. The key thing is for you is just to kind of keep it low and short through the bottom here, because that will then start to angle the face a bit squarer for you.
So instead of doing like an undercut, more like fade it up instead?
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing is, I'm not a huge fan of undercuts, and this is not. There's no. I don't know what the reason is really. I think it's just that I find the way my way of working is I always try and put myself in the client's position in 3 weeks' time or 4 weeks' time. So I'm always thinking, if a guy comes into me and he is, say your age or mid-20s or something, and he has to style his hair every single day, why am I going to make it harder for him by putting an undercut in there? Because a lot of undercuts don't always work with every hair type. I wouldn't necessarily do it for your hair type. There's a cut that we did on the channel. It's with a guy, and we did a skin fade, but we left an undercut in it, but his hair was quite kind of fine textured. It had colour in it, and it fell sort of perfectly forward. And that's the reason why I did the undercut, or kind of played with the undercut on him, because it worked really, really well. Now, if you wanted to do that, I'd probably say stay away from brushing it back, maybe bring it more forward. A bit like Peaky Blinders style, kind of wearing it down a bit. Only because when you try and brush it back with super thick hair, it will just pop out. So that's one of the reasons why I don't particularly go for undercuts, is because it doesn't go out very well. You know, it can be a nightmare after a couple of weeks. And I always find there's no point in going back in 2 weeks. You know, your haircut should last quite a while, but not saying there's anything wrong with getting them. It's just that the way I've always thought is try and let this work for the client growing out. So if you love the undercut, again, stick with it, but add a fade in there, you know, add a bit of a shorter fade through the bottom to then create still a bit more of an angle through here. So more than shaving one length right up, maybe just say, let's start with a 3 and then work down to maybe a 0.5 or a 0 or a 1, and then just make that little blend in there, because that starts to build up the length through the corner. So if you're happy with the undercut and that is something that you might just want to give a go again, like from the man bun stage, just add a little fade in there to give that bit more shape to it. I think that'll be work really well.
Okay, I'll give that a go next time, I reckon then. I
think honestly you're in a good position to do whatever you want with it. You know, you've got really good hair, you've got age on your side as well, so you can experiment. And again, just like I said, just don't go too high when you're blending, and that is all. That's purely for your face shape. But other than that, I mean, play around with it, crack on if you want. Like, you know, do whatever you want. Just bear that in mind when you come to it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Oh, you're welcome, Damon. Lovely to meet you, mate. Thank you for staying up.
Thank you. I appreciate
Real pleasure.
it.
Hey, Connor.
Hey, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Thank you, pal. Not bad.
Good, mate. Good. Thank you for joining us today.
That's all right, mate. No worries. Pleasure.
Good, mate. Good. Have you seen any of our videos before?
Yeah. I've seen a few of them, yeah.
Brilliant. Awesome. Well, what you're joining me for today is our virtual barbershop. So, basically, I'll just talk you through it. If you haven't seen any of our virtual barbershop videos, I'll talk you through what we're doing. All right?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So basically what it is we're trying to replicate a consultation in my chair. Okay, so how I sort of go about a consultation, and then obviously, you know, come to you and find out if there's any advice you want, what you think haircut wise would suit me, etc.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing today.
Okay,
so
cool.
So yeah, first of all, mate, what is your lifestyle? What you go to then, buddy?
So I'm a student. Literally, I just finished uni about a week ago.
Nice.
So I just got my last bit in. So
how did you do that? Was that all virtual?
So I do sport, so it's all coursework stuff. So it's all just submitted online and anyway. But a lot of people have gone all exams, like exams online and everything. But I've luckily no exams this year, so I was all right.
Yeah, well done, man.
So yeah, luckily. So I've got summer off now, and then I'm starting a teaching job in September, teaching rugby at a school as a rugby specialist. So
nice.
Just doing
that's wicked, mate. So what's your grooming routine like? Do you spend much time on your hair?
I try. My hair, I take quite a bit of pride in my hair. Like I like doing my hair and stuff. That's kind of different at the moment. It's just all over the shop. But then apart from that, like beard, no chance, nothing. I've tried. I made an incredibly poor attempt at Movember this year. That was shocking. It looked awful.
Mate, the only thing I can do is Movember, because like look at the thickness of that tash compared to everyone else.
Yeah, mate.
It literally is the thickest thing on my face. It's so annoying.
Oh, mate, I can't. We all do it with the uni rugby club. We raised quite a bit. I think we raised about over $2.5–3 grand, which was pretty cool.
Well done, man. That's really good. That's brilliant.
We did that, but yeah, it was. By the end of it, I was thinking, nah, Chan, no way. But I'd love to have one, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I know. Do you know what though? How old are you? If you don't mind me asking, Connor.
21.
21. Okay. So when I was 21, I didn't have much of a beard at all. And I don't have that much of a beard now, to be fair. No. But when I hit 30, it just seemed to sprout. I don't know.
It's definitely developed. I've seen, like, I've noticed that I'm shaving more often now, because like when like it's just really weak, and it just looks so tacky. And
obviously you take pride in your hair.
Yeah.
What is it that would you prefer me to would you like to ask me what you think would work for you, or do you want to ask me some advice or questions?
Probably what you think would work for me, because obviously you can't see it now because my hair's down, but my hairline is all the way back here. And then it's quite poor. I think that's a genetics thing. Like my dad's is gone. Both my granddads there gone. So I think that's a genetic thing. So it's more what you think would work with that. I tend to go. When I was younger, I always went through a phase of like chopping and changing it all the time. But I tend to now go right over left like that with it. Left to right over the top with it quite short. And then my sides are always. I get skin phase probably once a month, if not shorter than that. So I always keep my sides dead short, dead cropped, just because I quite like it. And then the fringe is usually shorter, but obviously it's not being able to get my hair cut.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think the thing is what you want to try and do is, if you find your hair is thinner on top, is you want to try and stay away from having it too long. Because if it is that fine texture, what happens is the longer it is, the more it looks like you're trying to cover something. Do you know what I mean? If you are doing that. So, and also if you are wearing, see, if you start, obviously in the heat, and if you are doing what you're doing job-wise as well, is that when you put a product in it and you sweep it over to one side, if you haven't got the right product in, or as the day goes on, you start to, perspire and whatnot, then it will start to clump together and it almost goes very strandy. So
I found that when I've been on holiday before, when we're away on holiday and I've put wax, I always find my hair, it just looks wet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you want to stay away from anything that is like oil based or wax, like a wax or something. Anything like pomades, unless you get like a clay pomade or something. But again, product choice is one part of this. And again, haircut is the other one. Product is just something that should enhance.
I use at the minute. This is what I use at the minute. That's what I use.
What's that one? For your texturizing gum. Okay, can you just open it up so I can see what it looks like inside?
It's melted a bit because it's actually quite hot in here. But
yeah. No, I can imagine.
It's kind of a wax, and I often found that when I used that, because I found it held it better. And because it's always been quite long, and obviously I'm quite sporty, when it always used to come, like when it was flopped down this, it came into my eyes and just irritated me. So that's why I wore it back, to keep it off my head and out of the way, kind of thing. Yeah,
only problem is you sacrifice the look though, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the problem. You've got to sacrifice there, whether you want it to hold well or whether you want it to look well. So I would say, come back to product in a minute, because I can give you some good advice on that. I would say haircut wise though, you want to, with yours, I would say if you sweep it over now, do you mind exposing some of the hairline, or do you prefer to not expose it?
I go through phases. So sometimes it's kind of like a constant running joke. Like I always make the jokes about, I'm gonna go to Turkey in a couple of years and all that. So like so I kind of play off it a bit. But sometimes it's nice to keep it down, keep it like not hidden, but sometimes. But then other times I'm like, do you know what? I've got it. Why not just put it all back?
Well, do you know what? I would say if I was you, I'd still keep the back and sides nice and short, right? I would say with the top, the shorter you go, the better it will be for you, because you've got blonde hair as well, which tends to be finer, like in texture anyway. So I would say go for something fairly short. I think the best thing is, it's a very hard one to try and explain to you without obviously being there or showing you some images, for example, or you just going down, do whatever you want, and this is how it'll look, because that's kind of what most of the time will happen. If I start giving advice, they'll go, Dan, just do what you want, But I would say the best thing to do is try not get a parting cut into it, because what happens when you do a parting, it either becomes too low to try and cover the recession, or people do it on the recession, which then exposes the recession.
I think that's what I used to get. Yeah, that's what I used to do when I was younger. I used to get that because especially like when I was at school and stuff, and it was like, obviously being a teenager, you want to be in bed as long as you can. I used to say, put that slot in, so it was easier for me to find.
You find it,
And then I think as well, obviously looking at pictures on it wasn't really social media then, but like just on Google and stuff like that, you see the models with it, they've got like perfect hairline, it looks amazing. And obviously you don't, when the barber
that's the problem with images though. It's I get a lot of images brought in of like David Beckham, and you're like, the thing is, mate, like I work in the world with celebrities, and I know that wherever they leave the house, they have someone doing the hair in the house before they leave, because that's what I do. I've done that for people as well, and even doing radio. I'm at the house at 5 a.m. doing the hair for radio, because everything's filmed and they're always on camera somewhere. So
paparazzi and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's it. And when there's some unbelievable images of Beckham's hair when he had like that kind of, I think he was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and it's one that always kind of comes back a little bit. It comes back around every now and again, and he's got a parting in it, and the parting is really low, and I guarantee you he would not be able to do that on his own, because where the parting was, he'd have to blow dry from a top angle. And it would almost be, you'd have to have a stylist doing it for you to get that parting correct, you know. So I would just say stay away from a parting, just because again, I'm talking based more on your front hairline. Yeah. So if I was you, do you know, a really good haircut for you, which I think would work well for your job and everything, would be having a short crop fringe. Now, if you're not a fan, I want to try and persuade you, because with your hairline being high, right? Yeah. What you do is you build up weight over the hairline. So essentially, with having the crop fringe, by having it short, you don't have to go like mega short up to the top. You can have it just shorter at the fringe here, the front, and then you build everything down to the level here. Yeah. What that does is, as you work down in sections, you leave weight on the corners here, and that essentially builds up thickness in the recession point. And you can still bring it across to one side, but you're just left with more thickness without looking like you're covering it, you know? It's not like you're parting it over it like this and you kind of flatten it down. With you, it makes it look natural. Nice. So I would say that would be great. And again, that way you can still keep the side nice and tight. You're not having to worry about this bit flopping over here. It's all kind of just cut in the way it should be. A little bit of product, a little bit of clay in there. And all day when you're doing your job, it won't move, it won't matter. It'll still fall in the right place. So just think all of them things combined with the job, the hairline, product choice will work for you, personally, I think. Perfect. Brilliant. Awesome, man. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. No, thank you. Awesome, Conor. Right, welcome, cheers, mate. I'll speak to you in about an hour or so. All right. All right. Speak to you soon. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Conor, man. Take care, buddy. Bye. So thanks for watching, guys. Another episode of our Virtual Barbershop. If you want to be involved yourself, drop Liam a message at liam@regalgentleman.com or drop us a DM in Instagram and we will do our best to get you on. Thanks, guys.